How's it going, everyone? It is Monday, March 25th, and I am here in Surfers Paradise, Australia. That is in Queensland, Australia. So I have left Southeast Asia. I flew in here a couple days ago, and yeah, I fly back to the United States tomorrow. So short visit here, just seeing my brother. He lives in this region of Australia, so it's good to have a visit with some family, and also it's great to be back in Australia. So yeah, my last vlog was from Cat Ba Island in northern Vietnam. I think that was my last one. Shortly after that, I went over to Hanoi, and I spent a couple days there and really just kind of walked around the city again, checked it out, and then I flew to Ho Chi Minh City in the south of Vietnam. So that's formerly known as Saigon, and again, I only had a few days there. Basically what happened was I had already booked my flight to Australia from Ho Chi Minh, and then after my ear accident, which delayed me into Vietnam, it kind of disrupted my plans, my travels through Vietnam. So I was planning to see more of the country in Vietnam, but I just didn't have the time because my flight was delayed due to my ear, which is all better, by the way. I actually went snorkeling here in Australia yesterday, so it's 100%. I had no issues. So glad that my hearing is back as well, but I think I forgot to mention that in the last vlog. So the vlog before that, I had mentioned that it had gone out, but yeah, all good. In Hanoi, again, I just kind of walked around. I stayed really close to the center, so I was able to get everywhere that I wanted to go on foot, and really just like Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum, a lot of the night markets. Yeah, I think I told you about some of my travels in Hanoi in one of the other vlogs, but in Ho Chi Minh City, I stayed not in the center, so I used Grab to get around. Grab is sort of like Uber or Lyft, one of those type of services, but it's used for like motorbikes. It's very popular to use it in Southeast Asia, and man, I tell you, riding around on a motorbike in Ho Chi Minh City, it's almost like a roller coaster. Well, first of all, the roads are really congested. There's so many motorbikes on the roads, and there's a lot in Hanoi too, but I think Ho Chi Minh City, there's just way more, and traffic is way crazier. It's almost mesmerizing to watch. But I did put a video on my Instagram of some motorbikes, and I'll put some more up in the future, so if you want to check those out. But yeah, that was really like fun for me, just riding around on the back of a motorbike and let somebody else kind of deal with the traffic. But yeah, that was really fun. What else did I do there? I also went to the War Remnants Museum in Ho Chi Minh, and that was definitely a very sobering experience. It's kind of depressing being there, but I think it's important to visit places like that just so we're all reminded of, you know, how serious wars can be and how many people they affect, and just the long-lasting effects that they can have. I think that the Vietnam War, or if you're in Vietnam, referred to as the American War, I think that conflict, that war was especially more deadly and more horrible because of all the civilians that it affected. Also because of the weaponry that was used. A lot of new weaponry was being used, like napalm, Agent Orange, and just the amount of bombs that were dropped. I think more bombs were dropped in Vietnam than were dropped in all of World War II, which is crazy to think about. I mean that's what I saw on the wall. I don't know, I haven't confirmed that statistic anywhere, but I don't know if that's actually true, but there certainly was a lot of bombs dropped, and actually even today there's still ordnance that's unexploded, and unfortunately from time to time locals will step on them and be killed or maimed from unexploded ordnance dropped by the Americans in Vietnam. So yeah, you know, it's definitely it's a terrible thing to do. It was a really depressing day walking around that museum. There's a lot of graphic pictures and disturbing facts and things that are on display, but you know, I think it's important when you travel to not shy away from things like that, and just be open to learning as much as you can about certain things that, you know, that has a lasting effect on that country. Even to this day, you can still see remnants from the war. So, you know, I will say that being an American there in 2019, I experienced zero animosity from any Vietnamese person while I was in the country. So I think that says a lot about the Vietnamese people and their spirit and how kind they are. So I mean, there was times where, you know, you feel like you're getting ripped off, but, you know, that has nothing to do with the fact that you're an American. It's just people wanting money, and that happens in big cities all over the world. So, you know, I wish Vietnam the best, and I hope I can make it back there someday. I would definitely go back to Ho Chi Minh or Hanoi. I kind of preferred Ho Chi Minh for some reason, but yeah, I would definitely go back, travel again in Vietnam, and hopefully I can make it back to visit some of the other countries I missed in Southeast Asia in the next time that I'm in this part of the world. Yeah, so I don't really know how can I transition out of talking about the Vietnam War in general. Yeah, let me see. I guess the last few weeks of my travels, I just kind of didn't really feel like I was vibing with people or meeting that many people that were on the same wavelength as me, and I think that's just due to the fact that I'm kind of ready to be done with this trip and kind of looking forward to moving on to the next thing. So, you know, looking forward to putting my head down and working for a little bit and, you know, saving up for the next adventure. I really miss camping and hiking. I think that's the biggest takeaway from this trip that I've discovered, is that this isn't really my preferred type of travel, you know, country hopping every couple weeks. I think I've made it to 7 new countries, which is great, and I'm glad that I did this trip, but now I know that I would much rather do a thru hike or possibly go to one country for a longer period of time and really see a whole country. I feel like just as soon as I was getting used to one country, I was moving to another one and, you know, having to learn a new currency, you know, learn phrases of new languages and things, which it's definitely, I'm glad that I did this trip. I'm not saying that I regret doing this trip. I'm just saying, compared to thru hiking and other travels that I've done, I would rather do one of those again before I do another multi-country travel trip. So yeah, I feel like, yeah, with this, you know, I'm here in Australia. This is my last day. I fly back to the United States. I feel like I'm just kind of rambling at this point, so I'm gonna go swim in the ocean because it's really hot. I'm sweaty. It's beautiful. This is what's so awesome about Australia, man. This is like the east coast of Australia. Northern Queensland? No, southern Queensland. Yeah. And you just, you know, look at this beach, man. Like, this is a huge city behind me, but there's so much room on the beach, and if you find a spot where you think it's too crowded, you just move on down the beach a little bit. But yeah, going back to like the thru hike, I'll just go ahead and say it. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm gonna save up and aim for doing another long trail in 2020. Not sure exactly which one yet, but I gotta get settled somewhere, work, make some money. Because I'm definitely broke after going to 7 new countries, eastward, all the way around the world. Which is crazy to think about too, that in this day and age you can just get on a plane and just go one direction, and before you know it, you'll be all the way around the planet. Yeah, again, I'm rambling. I'm gonna fucking shut this thing off. Thanks for watching these series. I'm gonna do one more video when I get home and just kind of show you what's in my pack, and I'll probably summarize the whole trip again. I'll probably just say a lot of the same shit that I just said. So, I don't know, man. I've kind of just been doing this vlog to get better at talking on camera. Hopefully that's the case. Hopefully you guys don't think I'm annoying, which I probably am. I'm annoying. I watch this shit of myself and I'm like, damn, Mike, just shut up.